Uh, I heard someone say this before. They said, "Who you allow to make you angry controls you," and it is so true. You know what I'm saying? And the reason these days the enemy is so emboldened to do acts that are outright diabolical and just despicable, like allowing perverts up in the bathrooms. You know what I'm saying? With you know what I'm saying? And then telling people they need to get over it. Dude, listen. Look, you're gonna allow these dudes to come up in there and put cameras in the freaking toilet and look at all these girls snatches. Sorry to be so descriptive there, but that's how it equates in pervert terminology. Sorry. And it's just, men can be dogs big time out here. You know what I'm saying? So, but not to say that it doesn't happen on the other side of the aisle as well. They can be dogs too. But it's like, and I just heard someone say, who you submit yourself to, that is your master. So, in a way, it's like, I know this, it's like calm plus action equals internal power. If you're angry, you'll have this rage power. I mean, it can powerfully hurt someone. But a calm plus action mind could really mess one some up, but they also can avoid the situation altogether and therefore preserve both parties, all parties involved, life. That's the more power. It's like what they said. Read this book. It said a clenched fist is only good for striking, but an open hand can strike, stab, it can grab, it can caress, it can shake a hand, it can wave. You know what I'm saying? And it can still do the same things the clenched fist. It's the mindset, and that's where they want us because we're weak, and they literally, that's how they control us, is through our anger. I mean, that's the whole allegory of the dark side. Like anger leads to fear, and then fear leads to evil. You know what I'm saying? Or fear will lead to hate and anger, and that will fuel your rage, which you'll do an evil deed without cause. It's like the Bible says, strive with no man without cause. It doesn't say, don't you dare ever strive with a man. It says, don't strive with people without cause. And even sometimes, even if there is cause, you know what I'm saying? There's privy, circumspect ways to go about it. Not everything requires a direct walk in the front door approach. You know what I'm saying? That's a good. It says, the fool goes straight in and is punished, but the wise will see the danger and go around it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, it's just like in Jeremiah. It doesn't say plant, you better only plant. It says plant, pluck up, gather stones. It also talks about casting them. So, same thing. There's a time to march right up in the front door. When you got calm plus action equals internal power, and you can keep your peace under pressure. Pressure can do two things. It can make diamonds. It also busts pipes. And right now we got pressure from above and below. You know what I'm saying? So we're under constant barrage of psychological operations, like psy officers, psyops, and they're designed to make you angry because through your anger or your fear, this is all the dark side too. Like according to the Star Wars analogy or allegory or whatever, they can control you, and that's exactly what the book about the hand with the fist or the open hand. The open hand is stronger, but in order to keep an open hand, it's got to be relaxed. You know what I'm saying? There's the difference. This has got to be like, it's already a strong response just to clench it all the way together, like tight. And even, like Bruce Lee, even when he said he punched, his hand was loose right up until the last second. And it's a way of conserving energy and only using it when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? And you can't fight evil with evil. The Bible says you got to do good in the face of evil, not evil for evil. And your tendency out of fear, you'll go fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? And out of anger, you're more geared towards fight. And if you're striving for the wrong reasons without a good cause, you know what I'm saying? You're already in danger of condemnation yourself, because it says when you condemn others, beware lest you also be condemned. Because who are you? And when I say condemn, this isn't just like, I don't like your lifestyle. This is like, you're the scum of the earth. Better for you to go to the vaporization chamber at the FEMA camp, the fun camp reservation. You know what I'm saying? You're spending all our taxes. You're taking our jobs and women. You know what I'm saying? That type of mentality, that neoconservative, fear-based. See, that is all off fear. When they say the blacks are, there'll be no whites in 10 years. The minorities are taking over. That's fear. That's put you into the mindset of desperation. And I know about this because it was in the Book of Samurai that they developed these techniques out of desperation. So, of course, you're going to find some bad stuff in there because, well, hey, what was born in bad stuff is going to have bad stuff still in it. You know what I'm saying? Even though, they're going to refine it, but it's out of that desperation. It's like, either you got to sit still and wait to move, or move into a point where you can regroup. You know what I'm saying? Or devise plans, man. It's, you know what I'm saying, from a safe position, basically. But you can never think clearly when you're angry. I know this for a fact. I've suffered with anger issues my entire life. I mean, it's not without cause. I'm not just angry because I just am angry. It's like there's a million things in this world to get you angry. There's a million things in this world to get you fearful. And then, if you can't handle that, and you don't want to become apathetic neither, just so you don't have to be angry or fearful. But then again, apathy, there is no joy in apathy, really. It's more like contentment, but it's not joy. And to experience true joy, you really have to experience things. And that comes by, like, sometimes it happens by accident. Sometimes it's by choice. It's like, there's times where I've went to scary places by myself just to test myself. You know what I'm saying? And for psychological testing, for the strength of the mind. Because, it's like, if you strengthen the body all day long, but you don't strengthen the mind and the heart and the soul, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what pushes the body, man? It's the soul, and the mind and the heart. So, I mean, this is just the extension of them, this body you're looking at here. Just like the sword, if I was carrying the sword right here, that would be just an extension of my body, which is an extension of my, you can see these things are coming from. And some things are already in your heart. If you're a racist and every time you see whatever people, you call them a derogatory slur, that's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Was it born in you? Probably not. You probably inherited it. Or maybe sometimes because other people have been victimized throughout. It's you can read about the Indians, the blood for blood, always doing revenge and ambush on each other. It wore them out. They wore themselves out with their traditions of, we got to get revenge for it's like every year it's Bloods and Crips. Every summer, as soon as, people start to get froggy, it gets hot out, just like it does now in the hood. When people come out and start fighting. And see, that's the real battle. The battle isn't the battle. The battle is what led up to it. What let you get to the point where you lost control. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. This is how they wear you down. Because I noticed this conspiracy right now is just so outright in your freaking face. It's hard not to get angry. And believe me, I'm angry. But look, I'm not going to let the anger control me anymore. And, now it's like I'm not really afraid, but not to say I'm not anxious about things, because I anticipate that things are going to go down. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like I've toned it down, but not to say that I've totally conquered it. And anger as well, dude. It's like, shoot, if people keep pushing my buttons for long enough, dude, could lash out. But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, once again, those are those tests I didn't ask for. Like, just people put you through. And it's like, in retrospect, you can basically look at yourself, man, and instead of judging others, you can judge yourself through the way they judged you and how you took it. Did you, you know what I'm saying? Because really holding on to a grudge is like you drinking poison and expecting your enemy to die. But really, all it's doing is hurting you, and it's the same thing because it takes your peace. Once your peace is taken, you ain't getting no joy. And I'm not talking about fake mumbo jumbo peace. I'm talking about feeling like your life's purpose being fulfilled. You catch glimpses of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's you get a peace from it, a sense of wait, there is purpose. This isn't for nothing. This isn't random. We didn't just show up here from nowhere and some alien fell in a volcano and farted monkeys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really that freaking mumbo jumbo that they try to push into us helps grease the skids, man. Because look, when you believe we came from animals, you believe you're an animal. So when you murder, it's not murder. It's just it's called selective breeding, and it's called putting an animal to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's and then you know, gang rape is just hey, that's reproduction. Uh the definitions change according to look how people perceive themselves. If they perceive themselves as some kind of kingly type, like I'm the select bloodline, they feel like they're entitled to do whatever they want. Like I have the divine right to sentence you to this punishment or make you pay this fine or give up this tax. But really, it's not divine right. It's your freaking soldiers that you're going to send to rape their wife and burn their fucking house. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and kill their family and shit, and then steal their belongings. So it's not divine right. If you have to take it by force, then is that really divine right, or is that do as thou wilt? You know what I'm saying? Ain't that they become a god unto themselves? I mean, that's really what those type of things look like. I don't have no power or sway like that out here. All I can do is try to appeal to people's consciousness. That's it. Appeal to their consciousness. That's all I can do. I can't punch it into you. I can't kick it into you. I can't. I wouldn't want to brainwash you or put you in a freaking one of those rooms where they strap you to the fucking chair and tape your eyelids open and then they freaking play a repeating movie over and over again, psychic driving. I wouldn't want to do that to anyone. That ain't that's peace down the barrel of a gun. You know what I'm saying? And that's really they're trying to tempt us into feeling that way ourselves. So, because if we enter into that state, it's like even win or lose, you're already, in a way, it's like you're already in a very disadvantageous position. So, it's like that anger mechanism. If it gets wired wrong through, it's literally social engineering, dude. It's through connivery and trickery, and it's an incremental conditioning and nudging and corralling and pushing them a little bit closer to where you want them to be already. Before the thing goes down, we got to get their mind here so that when we do this, we'll get this reaction. You know what I'm saying? But if a person's calm and collective, they'll probably see it coming, and then they can change their what they're doing in that moment. That's you really got to look at this from a calm collective. But you'll never be able to see it unless you look at it calm and collective. It was like, one day this dude made a video and he was like, rockets fired in Israel. And I was like, dude, that happens every day there. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't Armageddon. It's just, you know what I'm saying? People get swept up into every event. It's like, whoa, this big emotional roller coaster, and then nothing happens. Or it's a big emotional, now you're angry and you're feeling all offended and under attack, and now this person comes to you just trying to ask you something, and then you're attacking them because it's like you're still stuck in your head in all these fights with all these ideas and this. this real information war. It's not a joke. It's nasty. It's very guerrilla